Have you ever been like on the edge of your seat for a movie, or you have no clue what's going on, and then boom, a jump scare, and then everything just is so confusing, but you just want to keep watching? That is what this movie totally was about. Today's review is Undertone. I just saw Undertone, and let me tell you, I love horror movies. They are my favorite genre to watch, and I had no clue what I was going into with this movie. Please note there will be spoilers in this video, so if you have not seen the movie and you don't want to be spoiled, do not watch this video. All right, the movie starts with introducing us to the character Evie, which is the main character of the movie, and then she is singing to her sick mother. And then it kind of just drifts away and then goes into her starting a podcast. The podcast is called Undertone, the movie name, and she is partnered with Justin, and I think he's in like a different state or a different country, and they do this podcast at nighttime, and they talk about like demonic stuff, haunted stuff, and kind of like debunk certain things. All right, so her friend Justin gets these 10 recordings sent to him on this random email with like weird letters, and he's like, oh, this would be perfect for the Undertone podcast. So they start listening to the recordings. About the movie is each recording. So like the first kind of like, let's say 20-30 minutes of the movie is like recordings 1 to 3, and then it goes like 4 or 5, and then it just goes so on. Recordings are from this couple from complete different area, and it starts off like, you know, normal, like kind of like a lovey like thing that the husband is doing because he notices that his wife is talking in his sleep, or that she's sleepwalking and she's saying some weird stuff. Evie did not like some of those noises. I definitely saw like a discomfort. She wanted to end it. So she turned off the thing. She said, Justin, we can do this another time. And then she went upstairs and she went to go check on her mom because that's what she does every single night. So something that happens throughout the movie is that Evie is experiencing the stuff that is happening in the recordings that she heard. And at first, I don't think she fully grasped the understanding of, oh, like this has happened to me. She probably thought she was going crazy. But there was banging in the tape, and then there was banging in real life. There was the water faucet happening on the tape, and there was the water faucet happening in real life. There was the weird demonic language. I am not going to try saying any of that, so I butcher something and create a demon in my room. So she was basically kind of going back and forth, searching up like child's nursery rhymes and everything, like, you know, backwards, and finding out that there was like this thing called, so I think it's called Abazu, if I'm not mistaken. Please, demons don't come for me, I'm sorry. And it is basically a demon that was upset with mothers that are carrying children, and she kills the child in a certain way. Fun fact, she's pregnant. Evie is pregnant, and it's not really mentioned that much. It's just kind of like, oh, she's pregnant, and then she drinks alcohol, and I think she basically was getting rid of the baby in her own way. All right, so this is where the movie gets very confusing, and please, if anybody has like any explanation, any explained, I've searched up so many, but we are finally on to the last 2 tapes. So Evie noticed that the statue, like there's like this little statue that was on the nightstand, was moved, and she put it in the drawer. The next night it was back there, so she moved it and put it in the closet. And when the mother was like saying these words, you can kind of see in the back frame that she's like propped up and like she's possessed. The last like part of the podcast, they invited viewers to chime in live, so like call in, and there was one person saying that, oh my gosh, I actually knew the people that were on the voice recording, and like they actually are dead. So that kind of freaked Evie out in a way, where you could see in her eyes. And then what really got her was the last person. I was like, oh, I'm looking for Mary. I'm looking for Mary. And she's like, there's no Mary here. And Justin, the character, he's like, Evie, like, hang up this call. And then it starts going into like these weird muffle. And then it goes into like this really like demonic, like deep voice. And then done. Like it goes to like a black screen and you're just hearing like screaming, you're hearing weird voices, and then it moves up to her noticing that her whole like staircase is like covered with like these drawings that Evie was drawing this whole time, and then goes up to her mom's bedroom and checks on her mom. Her mom's not in the bed. And that's, I'm like, oh great, like the mom is possessed, like she's somewhere. And then turns out, yeah, the closet door is slowly opening, and so Evie's standing here, she's staring at the mirror, and the mom slowly is walking backwards. And when I tell you, I jumped. I jumped. That was a little scary. Then the screen goes black and all you're hearing is screaming. You are hearing demonic voices going around. You're hearing like a crinkle of a bag. And then I honestly don't know how the movie ends because we really never got like a definitive ending. All we heard was screaming, and then we all heard Evie in like this weird like saying this demonic voice, and that was the end of the movie. And I think they've done that to like leave us to our own imagination, like, oh, what happened, like what could have happened, did the mom murder the daughter, did the daughter murder the mom, like we never may know. And I honestly kind of love the way that they did that ending. At first I was like, that's it. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, come on, I want an ending, like what's gonna happen. I was so excited. I'm like, hey, like she's gonna get it, like Justin's gonna come, like something's gonna happen, but no. That does not happen. So for me, I think I'm gonna rate this movie 8 out of 10 stars. I love confusing movies. Like I really love when they throw you on a roller coaster and it's not predictable, because I don't want to watch something where it's going to be like, hey, I know that person's going to die, or they're going to open the closet and something like that. Like I want something that is really going to get you, and that is what a horror movie should be. I was very, very surprised and very happy that they created this movie. Phenomenal job. A24 Films has like phenomenal movies to begin with, so I was not surprised in that way that like this movie was not going to flop, and it did not flop. I enjoyed it so much. Some people may not like the fact that it was confusing, but for me, I really liked it, and that definitely was a horror movie, and how subtle it was made me feel like, wow, I feel like I'm watching like one of those like old time movies where you're like, oh my gosh, like what's gonna happen. That was it, and I am so happy, so grateful that I got to see it. And let me know what movie, TV show I should review next. I do love like all genres, but horror and Disney are like my top genres that I do watch. But yeah, feel free, comment any movies that I should watch, any movies I should review, any TV shows, and I'll see you next time. Bye.